Spending Christmas trapped with my crush. There's no way we're getting through that. I walked over to the cabin's entrance to a blanket of white as far as the eye could see. Snow fell, billowing through the air. The roads were long gone, encased in white. He was right. We weren't. I turned to Matt, my best friend of over 5 years, with a sympathetic smile. I guess we have to spend Christmas Eve together. Sucks because you plan on going home for the holidays. It's fine. It's not like I can get there right now anyway. There's no road. You're right, I mused as I took in the view. Still, I feel bad. You missed them so much and I missed you, Cam. We have 6 months of catching up since you never came home for summer vacation. Running a hand through my hair, I flushed. Yeah, sorry about that. I had my reasons, though. I know, summer school. Trying to get that master's degree faster, Matt replied. A ting of jealousy sat in his voice as he uttered those words. I know. I guess you're right. We can spend more time together, even if it was supposed to be a weekend. What, tired of me already? Matt retorted. Not at all, I replied. What's got you so worked up? It's nothing. I just missed you. I nodded. I missed him too. A lot, actually. We were a dynamic duo since high school. Our careers took us down different paths. Spending time together wasn't too bad. Good thing I didn't pack my stuff then. We're not going anywhere in this. Yeah, we're not, I tried to say until the lights turned off. Great, we had no power now. I checked my phone and sure enough, there was no cell signal. No cell service or electricity. Guess we just have each other to entertain us tonight. That's fine, Matt said with a quiet voice. I looked at him, confused. What's his problem? He's been acting weird ever since it was time to leave. This weekend has been fun so far. We went snowmobiling and hiking at his dad's cabin. The plan was to drive back to our families for the holidays, but, well, that isn't happening. Anyway, wanna go back in? No electricity means we gotta rely on the fire, I asked. Yeah, he muttered lowly, turning around. I caught a glimpse of Matt making hot chocolate for us by the stove. Something was wrong. What it was, I didn't know. My best friend rarely acted this aloof. We connected and got close the entire weekend, but now? He seemed like a different person. I shrugged it off. Whatever it was, I'm sure it was nothing too bad. Turning around, I joined him in the kitchen, curious about what he planned on doing tonight to ease the boredom. 2 hours later. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you remember that. Of course, how could I forget? Matt said. Sounds of raucous laughter filled the otherwise quiet cabin. Matt and I started to talk about old stories, including the one time he dared me to ask out the most popular girl in school. As soon as I did, I tripped on a banana peel. I know it's something you'd hear in movies, but it happened. Water spilled on her shirt, and then the entire hallway got a nice view of the wet t-shirt contest that happened. That was one of the most embarrassing days of my life, I laughed. It got you a date, though, Matt pointed out. And then 2 weeks later, she dumped me, I complained, sighing. Not like that's a surprise. I've constantly struck out with women. I know, I've been there, he said, his voice low. And then look at you. You had a girlfriend every year of high school. Weren't you dating some gal for a bit as well? Bianca? Yeah. Matt looked away, chewing his lip nervously. I placed the glass down, the exuberant air morphing into the same tenseness as before. Is something the matter, Matt? It's nothing, Cam. Is it Bianca? I'm sorry if that was a sore spot. It's not. We're not dating anymore, he said. Oh, this was embarrassing. Sorry, I didn't know. I didn't expect you to know. Things didn't work out. Did she cheat? Or were you guys just too different? I asked, curiosity rushing through me. He shook his head but didn't respond. The silence grew, and I looked at him. What's wrong, Matt? Averting his gaze, he spoke. Cameron, there's something I wanted to tell you for a long time. Something I'd been waiting for the right moment for. I'm not sure if this is it, but... Reaching up, I rested my hand on his shoulder. You're my best friend. What could you possibly tell me that would ruin what we have? Matt looked up, his normally confident demeanor gone. The guy always got the girls being the tall, dark, and handsome man that he was. I'm gay, Cameron. Bianca and I, along with the other girls I kissed and dated, never worked out. Hell, I never slept with any of them. Only... well, guys. This revelation was like a bomb dropped on me. Oh my gosh. I never knew. I know, Cameron. You're a good guy, but you're dense. What do you mean by that? Matt reached out and touched my hand. It's warm. Feels nice. Lacing his fingers against mine, our eyes met. I've always had a crush on you, Cameron. You're kind of a dumbass sometimes and don't realize the obvious, but you're not just my best friend. You've meant something more. I sat there, unable to respond. This is huge. I know. You don't have to feel the same way. I just want to get it off my chest. I nodded. Honestly, I didn't know how to feel. Matt was attractive, and I have found some men pleasant to look at. This, however, ignited something else inside me. No, it's fine. I don't mind it. He blinked. Matt's eyebrows raised in surprise. You don't? No, in fact, maybe I've always liked you too, and I never realized it. Do you want to test the theory? We don't have to if... No, I want to. It was strange to admit it. Matt leaned in, closing the distance between us. He kissed me, and we stayed like this, allowing the moment to linger. Whoa, this was better than kissing women. I dated a few women during my college years. I always struck out on the third date. I kissed a few, however, before the night was over. It never felt like this. Fireworks went off inside and electricity tingled through my body. This felt like the type of cheesy crap you felt in romance movies, and I loved it. I deepened the kiss, inching closer. As Matt pulled away, he stared at me, eyes wide as saucers. Cameron, what are you... I don't know what this means either, but I like it. It's like you unlocked something inside me. I don't mind kissing and doing other things. I sounded like such a virgin. Okay, maybe I was. If Matt took my virginity, I wouldn't mind. Matt deepened the kiss, and soon he pushed me into the couch. Before I knew it, he pulled my shirt off. His hands explored every part of me that he could. It was magical. Simply magical. By the end of the night, I had lost my virginity to my best friend, and a realization hit me. I'm bisexual. The next day, the snow stopped, but everything was a winter wonderland. We still had no electricity, and only the fire kept us warm. Well, that and Matt's muscular body. It felt nice to be under him. Last night changed me for the better. When we finally got up, Matt gave me a kiss. The same butterflies from last night I felt during our first kiss came back, almost with a vengeance. Want to go out? Sure, it's at least stopped snowing. Yeah, but we might need a few days before we get out of here. That's right, it's Christmas. Oh yeah, it was. We may want to call our families, let them know what happened. Good idea. If we can find service. He was right. The closest town was about 5 miles away. After we got up, we left the house. Matt made his way to the snowmobile and gestured for me to join him. Let's go together. Sure. He got on, and I got behind him. Our bodies were close. Before last night, I always took another snowmobile. Now I kind of regretted waiting this long. Was this what I wanted all along? We went into town, which was still covered in snow. The only thing open was the lone bar near the entrance. When we got inside, a thick woman in her 40s walked over, 2 glasses in hand. You guys look like you could use a couple of beers to warm up, she said. Thanks. Much appreciated. We had the beers and asked her how bad the conditions were. She said it would be at least 3 days before the snow was cleared to the highway. I only made it in because I live down the block, she explained, gesturing to the small house nearby. If I were you, I'd make your calls here and let them know that the roads are closed. Okay, thank you. No problem. You two seem happy, though. Making the most of the situation, aren't you? I looked at Matt, who nodded. Yeah, we are, he says. We learned something new about each other. Becky, the bartender, winked. She knew exactly what he was getting at. Well, don't let me be a third wheel. She disappeared and went to the kitchen. Matt grabbed his beer and we sat in the back. We spent more time talking and admiring the winter wonderland. You know, Cameron, in a way, I don't mind this. It feels like this was fate's way of bringing us together, you know? Maybe so. Fate has a super weird way of working, but you don't mind it either, do you? I shook my head. No. It meant more time cuddled up to Matt, the guy who unlocked this newfound realization and the one who meant something special to me. After we had our beers, we called our families and explained it. They said to have a good Christmas and don't leave until we were safe. I guess they were fine with whatever we did as long as we were safe. Matt and I walked and explored the town. Most stores were closed except for one. It was a small woodworking store. As I looked inside, I saw a couple of wooden sculptures. There was a bear, which I thought would be a nice gift for Matt. It was Christmas after all. Did you find something? Yeah, but let's go to the tree again, I said. Matt nodded. Sure. We went down to the square where the tree was. In the twinkling lights and the cold air, I held the bag up. Here, for you. Merry Christmas. Matt's eyes widened. Thank you, Cameron. I got you something good. He handed me the same bag. Guess you found something you liked too? Just a little gift, he said with a wink. I pulled it out. It was a bear sculpture, just like the one I bought. Matt's eyes widened as he realized I had bought him the same thing. Wow, great minds think alike, he laughed. Or maybe this is a reminder to never forget each other. He nodded. Of course, to never forget. Small snowflakes began to fall. It was a perfect Christmas evening. Matt grabbed my waist and pulled me close. He kissed me again, and I smiled into the kiss. We might not have been able to spend it with our families, but we had each other. That was the best gift of all. The next day. Last night's snow made little difference. The roads were still out, but it was easier to get to town. Matt and I decided to look around. We went to Becky's place again, where she gave each of us beer, free on the house. She liked us and made sure we were taken care of. After that, Matt and I explored the town, seeing some of the Christmas lights and decorations left up. There is one thing we could do. What? He grinned. Climb that. He gestured to the pathway leading up to the top of a frozen waterfall, a town staple. We planned on going to check it out, but we ran out of time. Until the universe gave us time. Matt and I climbed it, albeit it was slick. I nearly fell a few times. Matt's arm scooped me up, and he held my waist as he went up the path. When we got to the top, I looked at the waterfall. An array of white ice sheathed the place. It's beautiful. That it is. I love it. Matt gazed out lovingly and then turned to me. Let's take a picture to remember this moment. Are you sure? Of course, he replied. I want to remember our time together. It's been special. That it was. The last couple of days changed my entire perspective on our friendship. It always was something more, but I was too much of an idiot to realize it. Matt was always the playboy who got the girls, and I always struck out. Maybe this was fate because it brought our two opposites together into something amazing. We took a picture. Matt pulled me against his chest and kissed me. After he took the picture, I stepped back. Matt, are you sure about that? He nodded. Yes, I want a memento. This was it. I flushed. It felt nice to hear that. Afterward, we went back and spent the night cuddling and kissing. However, there was still something on my mind. I pulled away and Matt blinked. What's the matter? Nothing, it's just... The snow's clearing up. They say that it should be cleared in 2 days, I said. Yeah, it should be. After all that, what then? I tried to form the words on the tip of my tongue. Did Matt want a relationship? Do you want to date? Matt hesitated. I'm not sure. Why not? I thought that I like you, Cameron. It's going to be a long distance. It's just a few hours. I can try to come down on the weekends. He shook his head. You've got your master's program. It'll be hard. And as for me, I've got my residency. Still, we'll figure this out. He sighed. I'm just worried because every long-distance relationship didn't work out. I got that. But that didn't mean this was going down the same path. We can at least try, can't we? I suppose. I grimaced. It bothered me that Matt wasn't as excited as I was. Sighing, I shrugged. Okay, fine. We'll take this slow. We'll figure it out then. Agreed. Matt pulled me close, hugging me. That doesn't mean I don't want you, Cameron. I have my own battles to go through. Yeah, I get it. We cuddled until sleep overtook us. Doubts swam in my mind. Did Matt want something serious, or was I asking for too much? 2 days later, the snow finally cleared. I gathered my stuff to pack it, going through the motions. I didn't want to leave. After I packed my final bag, I walked to the living room. Miss you too, babe. Okay, yeah. I'll see you soon. Matt hung up the phone and looked at me. Cameron, I heard that, I uttered. You're seeing someone. He shook his head. No, Cameron, it's not that. Then why'd you call him babe? Matt looked away. I never did. I heard you. So you are still a playboy. Matt sighed. Cameron, I never slept with those girls. But if we're going to do this long-distance relationship, I don't know if you're going to do this whole flip-flopping thing, then I'm not interested.
I should have never trusted you. I thought I meant something to you. You do, Cameron. You mean a lot, which is why I broke things off. Yeah, but how many other guys are there? Or girls? Maybe you're stringing me the hell on.
Anger boiled through me. I thought that what Matt and I had was special.
Cameron, it's not like that. He was just a guy that I was talking to. So why'd you say babe? I didn't. I told him to stop with the miss me babe stuff. You didn't hear everything. I damn well heard everything, I replied back, the flames of anger growing stronger. You know what? I was a fool. I'm such an idiot. I gave you that Christmas present and everything.
Tears filled my eyes. I turned and walked away. Matt claimed he was gay. He told me none of those women mattered. I guess I was a fool for believing him.
I stormed out of the house. Cameron, wait! I'm not driving back with you or saying goodbye. Get out of my life. I was an idiot for believing you.
I looked at the snowmobile. No, that wasn't going to work. I trudged through town, ignoring how cold it was. All I felt was anger. 3 hours later, I ended up at Becky's bar, fuming with anger. Becky gave me a beer. I looked at her and then at the street. He hasn't come down yet, by the way. Maybe he's mad, Becky said.
Well, he can come find me. Or maybe he's off talking to another guy, telling me I was the one. What a lie.
I nursed the beer. Becky moved around the counter and touched my shoulder. I think that's not the case. He cares about you a lot.
Then why did he say that?
She shrugged. I don't know, hon. But what I do know is that sitting here isn't going to fix things. Working it out will fix this. She touched my heart. I nodded. I suppose. Thank you, Becky.
No problem.
I remember, young love. My husband and I had that, and we still do. Work this out. You deserve it. Her words inspired hope. I sigh. I want a relationship. He's worried about the distance and, I get it, it is far. But if you two care, then you'll figure out how to work it out. I nodded, taking in her words. You think so? She smiled. I know so. Now go. Find him. I stood up and walked out of the bar. I should go back if only to see if he truly does care. I walked towards the cabin. Snow began to fall. It went from a small couple of flakes to a giant snowstorm. The snow crunched underneath me. Chills crossed my spine. The town and Becky's tavern were long gone. I was alone in the wilderness. Right turn, right? No, wait. Maybe it was left. I continued to move, going through the motions. The cold seeped through the layers, hitting my skin. With chattered teeth, I kept going on. Each step sapped my energy, and soon, my vision went from clear to blurred to black. My legs gave out. I fell, gasping for air.
No, this isn't going to be it. I'm not going to die out here.
I moved, but every step used all my energy. With one final move, I grabbed the treasure from my pocket, the bear Mac gave me, and hugged it to my body. One lone tear fell down my cheek, a tear of sadness and regret for what we could have been, together and happy. Hours later.
Cameron!
Wait, that's... I opened my eyes and there was Matt, standing there. His eyes were wide with fright, and I looked at him with confusion. How did I tried to ask, all confused.
I bundled you up and drove back to town from the cabin. Did you know you almost died out there?
I nodded. I know. Matt enveloped me in a tight hug.
You had me so worried, Cameron. I thought that you died. I'm so sorry, and...
His soft cries were all I heard. I reached out, my arms and legs burning, as I hugged him with a weak hug.
I'm sorry, Cameron. I am. I didn't realize how much I hurt you. I'm sorry for being so finicky.
Shh. It's fine, I said. I'm sorry for lashing out.
He looked at me and wiped the tears. I called all of them. The guys I was talking to. I cut it all off. I don't want more flings. I want you.
The words struck a chord with me. Even if there's a distance?
Yes, I know it's not easy, but we'll work it out. I feel taking this slow might be what we need.
I'm willing to do that. A smile tugs at my lips. Yeah, I'm willing to as well. Matt hugs me again, kissing me passionately. For the rest of the night, until my body is back to normal, Matt takes care of me. Then, we cuddle on the couch together, watching a movie. Smiling, I look up. We may not get this every night, but I'll take it whenever I can. Yeah, me too. He glances at his phone. We need to go back to our families tomorrow. We do. The roads aren't too bad, right? He shakes his head. They're not. Which means that we can go back together if you want. I beam. I'd love that. We can make the most of our time together before we have to go back to school. Matt plants a tender kiss on my forehead. I love that, Cameron. We spent the rest of the night at the cabin together, enclosed in each other's arms. I wasn't ready to say I loved Matt yet, but I was close. He made me realize so much this weekend. We were destined to be together, to have a relationship, to take it slow, and to embrace the moment. The kiss on Christmas Eve sent me on this path. One I didn't regret and one that warmed my heart. Conclusion. Matt and I went back and came out to our families. They were ecstatic. We agreed to take it slow, seeing each other every weekend we could. I worked hard to get my master's and then moved to where Matt is. I got a job as a graphic designer and moved in with Matt after. We continued to take things slow and embrace the moment. Slow and steady made me fall in love with Matt harder. He was my everything, and we were happy together. The end. Have you ever had a long-distance relationship with someone? And did it work out? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing to become a part of our Rainbow Force and stay wholesome.